Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you and Vice Chair Udall for holding this hearing and including the Vice Chairman's bill S 3264, the Bridging the Digital Divide Act, which we have worked with and sponsored with him. Far too long, our tribal communities have been left on the wrong side of the digital divide, and obviously the COVID crisis shows us how important this issue really is. Less than half of rural households in tribal lands have access to fixed broadband services, according to an FCC report of 2019. And the same report revealed that tribal lands have fallen behind in access to wireless broadband as well. According to a separate 2020 FCC report on nationwide broadband deployment, well over 1 million people in Indian country lack access to adequate broadband and the critical healthcare and education services, jobs, and other economic opportunities that broadband affords. So we all know the FCC numbers underestimate the problem. The COVID pandemic has exacerbated the harms caused by the lack of broadband, leaving many communities without the ability to participate in online learning or telehealth. These tribes in our states are very concerned about this. Members of the Ho tribe, located on the Pacific coast, essentially have had to ration their internet use. In the past, members of different tribes would wait until the children went to school to even send things as basic as email because of the extraordinary low speeds. This has become worse with the COVID pandemic. For the Colville tribe in north central Washington, many of the households don't have access to the internet. This means many of the households don't have access to emergency service notifications. Connectivity is critically important during fire season, especially this year as fires have forced evacuations from homes and businesses. It's absolutely unacceptable for these tribes and many others living on tribal lands throughout the state of Washington to not have access to basic, reliable broadband. We need to address this and the connectivity needs of tribes now, which is why closing the tribal digital divide remains one of my top priorities, and I know for this committee is also a big priority. It's why I have joined with the Vice Chairman, Senator Udall, and others in writing the FCC Chairman Ajit Pai 2 weeks ago to use all of the FCC's current authority and resources to take immediate steps to address the broadband shortcomings in Indian country. And it's why Senator Udall's bill and Senator Heinrich earlier this year introduced S 3264, the Bridging the Digital Divide Act. As the Vice Chairman has worked on this issue, he knows that it improves coordination across federal broadband programs. Several tribal communities make it easier to tribes to navigate application processes and for them the technical assistance that often comes with deploying broadband. And importantly, the bill sets aside 5% of the broadband deployment funds at the FCC and the USDA for tribes to build out broadband infrastructure in Indian country. So additionally, the bill for the first time will place tribal lands on the same footing as other countries when it comes to the FCC statutory mandate to provide universal service. The FCC has not taken the obligation seriously, so this bill will stress that agencies can no longer downplay the needs of tribal citizenry and will have to deal with this issue. So prior to helping the Macaw build out a network, which we worked on in my state, tribal students had to travel to another school 40 minutes away to basically just do basic internet broadband testing. So if they wanted to take a test, they had to go 40 miles just to take a test. So this is, we all know what Indian country looks like in our states. We need to do better by them. And so I thank the chair and thank you for giving me that moment. And if I could just say a special thank you to Senator Murkowski for her leadership on Savannah's Act. So glad that Savannah's Act is on its way to the president's desk. Hopefully, Indigenous women will be better protected in the future.
Thank you, Senator Cantwell. Senator Murkowski, and I would like to echo Senator Cantwell's comments regarding your leadership on Savannah's Act, and of course, also acknowledge former Senator Heitkamp from my state as well on that legislation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.